Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Your clothes. Were you assaulted? Damn bandits, may they burn in hell. Good luck then.
I'm glad to see you.
One beer for me.
I got fucking everything.
Wonderful. Come with me.
What's taking them so long?
I really don't know.
Ready? Good. Now put it on.
Oh, that would be an improvement.
That's good. That's really fucking good.
You don't think it's too much?
It's perfect. If I met you at night, I'd shit myself.
That's exactly what humans look like.
Says the man who's never seen one.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what people think humans look like.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all.
We're only just getting started.
All right.
There's the good doggy. That's my boy.
Hey, where's my ale?
Have you heard about anything interesting going on lately?
Just some talk about lost sheep and indecent wenches. Probably nothing to interest you.
Maybe later. I was thinking of something more in the line of work opportunities.
I don't really have anything specific right now, but I did hear about something interesting from one of your neighbors.
Who?
I don't know his name, but it was about as old as you. He said his family owned the Scallops Tavern.
Young Adam, then. And the interesting part?
He decided he wanted to go back home, see the damage and so on. And someone looted it right in front of his nose.
I know. I've met those scavengers before. It's not that interesting, just sad, really.
Well, it certainly isn't Christian. But the thing is, they were hiding money in that cellar of theirs.
And did he say where he was going?
He said he's going to Ratai, that he has some arrangements there.
It won't be easy to find him. Ratai's a little overcrowded nowadays.
Then you'll have to ask someone, won't you? Bloody hell. Do you want me to hold your hand while you do it?
I'll be on my way then.
Go. Go. And ask him when you see him. Maybe you'll think of something.
Hey, where's my ale?
Jesus, what have you been up to? Take care.
Hey, how'd you get so fucked up? Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This one is from Neuhoff. Take good care of him for me.
Welcome, Henry. I'm glad you're here.
Greetings. What business have you?
My lord, I bring greetings from Smill's widow, Zora, mistress of the Neuhof stud farm.
Zora. The poor woman, to lose her husband in such a terrible way. How can I help her?
She sends her respects and would like to ask, if you don't mind, why you stopped buying horses from her.
I take my horses from Uzits now. It's no reflection on Zora or her people, but it was clear to me after the tragedy at Neuhof that the stud farm would never recover. I'm not inclined to buy my steeds from a stud farm run by a woman. You can understand that, can't you? Being a stable master is a man's work.
But she's a widow without any other means of support, sir. Wouldn't it be worth at least having a look at her horses?
Perhaps you're right, but it all sounds rather dull. We'll hold a horse race, and whoever's horse fares better, that's who we'll buy from. I hope you will carry the Neuhof colors.
It looks that way. I've already bought the horse.
Splendid. Tell my stable master about my decision. Meanwhile, I'll send word to the riders from the other stables around. Let's make a proper show of it. See you later.
Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
Don't ask me. Talk to blacksmith's Betty. She's the one who claims she saw them feasting in the woods.
I see. Thanks. I'll go and ask. Sir Divish has sent me about the race.
Race?
Yes, I'm to tell you he wants to arrange a horse race. He will send word himself to the other stables and riders in the area.
It's true no one's raced the Talmberg track for ages. And the folk around here could use a bit of excitement. But what's your part in this?
Actually, Mistress Zora sent me. She wants his lordship to start buying her horses again.
Zora? She's from the Neuhof stud, ain't she?
Yes.
I hope with all my heart you win. After what's happened to Zora, she deserves some luck.
Do you know the rules of the race?
I don't.
We'll tell you before the start of the race where the poles are and what order you have to reach them in. There's no set course. You can take any route you want. Knowing the lie of the land is very important. You must take a ribbon from each pole, and once you have them all, you can ride back. If you're the first one here, then you win. Got it?
I understand.
All right, but a race like that will take some time to arrange. Bring the dappled grey tomorrow to the gate of the Outer Bailey at noon. The start will be there.
All right, thanks.
Goodbye.
What in the...
What?
Jesus Christ, your clothes. Were you assaulted? Damn bandits, may they burn in hell.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
If I were you, I'd ask Thomas, the bath hand. He was boasting in the tavern about how he was off to the woods for some game. God be with you.
You want something from me, do you?
God save. What can I do for you?
I'm here to find out about the poachers gang, and I need to ask a few questions.
Well, ask away. I don't have all day.
I heard you were yelling in the tavern that you were off to hunt some venison.
Look here. I don't know who you are, but you should watch your mouth.
I will, don't you worry. So what happened then?
What? Nothing. It was just the beer talking. I got pissed and started spouting shit. Didn't mean a word of it.
Maybe not. That remains to be seen. So, you're saying you've not been poaching?
How many times do I have to explain? I've never stolen so much as a rabbit. I was just in a tavern, bragging, that's all.
So, how do you account for my finding some deer antlers in your shed?
Well,
Come on. Let's hear the truth.
all right. But promise me you won't drag me into anything.
Speak up and who knows? I might put in a word for you.
All right. The truth is I did drag a deer carcass there, but I didn't do the shooting. I was given it.
That's a likely story.
Honestly, not a word of a lie. I caught the poacher just as he was skinning it.
And who might that be?
I don't know.
If you don't tell me who it was, I've no reason to believe that story of yours.
Fine. Fine. He's one of the charcoal men. I've seen him taking the charcoal to the forge. His name is Radan.
There are plenty of charcoal burners around here.
He came from the charcoal piles south of here. If you follow the creek upstream, you can't miss them.
Well, you better pray I find him, because if you've been lying to me, I'll go straight to the castle. Understood?
I'm telling the truth, I swear. I'm sure you'll find him there.
We'll see.
God's blessings.
I heard there are poachers in the woods round here.
If only if it was just poachers. It's that sorcerer Hare. He's the one who's been running amok. I said he'd be back, and I said he'd be vengeful, and I was right both times.
Tell me something about Hannikin Hare.
Ah, that was all years ago. He turned up here one day. No one rightly knew where from. He claimed up at the castle to be a nobleman's son, and so he got the office of Master Huntsman, and Margaret was promised him for his wife. Nobody could have known he was a sorcerer.
And how did his sorcery reveal itself?
Well, he was able to vanish into thin air in the forest right in front of folk. And I've heard it said he spoke to animals, too, though I don't know the truth of it.
That doesn't sound very convincing to me.
That's because you've not seen his marksmanship. It wasn't natural, the things he could do with that bow of his. They say he sold his soul for the gift of it.
I see. How did it go with Margaret?
I'm not one to gossip, but she was a flighty lass in her younger years. She could never make up her mind which one she wanted, the Hare or Nicholas. So in the end, fate decided for her.
What do you mean? What happened with Hare?
Oh, that was quite something. And then some on top of it. Sir Henry of Lipo was visiting here at the castle, and Hare snapped his guardsman's neck with his bare hands. Of course, they found him out. But how do you keep a sorcerer under lock and key? You can't. That's your answer. And that Satan's spawn slipped the net.
Oh well, it's quite a wild story. Any idea why he murdered the man?
No one knows, and most likely never will. But they say he was fully in the devil's power. There was a full moon, you see.
Was he actually seen killing the guardsman?
I suppose so. Else they'd hardly know who did it, would they?
That's probably true. There is one other thing I want to ask. Who does Hare want revenge on?
Master Huntsman Nicholas, of course. When the hare disappeared, Nicholas took his Margaret and the huntsman's posting.
So Nicholas came out of it well?
That one always knew how to land on his feet.
Has anyone actually seen this Hannikin Hare? He seems to exist only as a bogeyman to frighten naughty children.
Oh, he exists all right, but he flits around in the forest like a shadow. They won't be catching him anytime soon, but Blacksmith's Betty heard some of their goings-on in the woods.
Goings-on? What's that supposed to mean?
Cavorting and raising hell. Sorcery! Hare meets up with his sorcerer's apprentices, and they feast in the clearing in the woods. In the morning, they turn into ravens and scatter. Or so she says. But you'll have to ask Betty for more. Who knows what she saw? Or what she was doing there with them?
Very well. I'll ask. Thanks. I think I know all I need.
Take care.
Jesus Christ, your clothes. Were you assaulted? Damn bandits, may they burn in hell.
I've got a few questions about these poachers.
So ask.
I heard you saw something fishy in the forest.
That's right, I did.
Can you describe what you saw?
It was after dark, I remember that. I went up past the castle along by the clearing, and I saw someone had lit a fire, and there were figures singing and dancing, and I could hear the whistling of a pipe. And I could smell roast meat. It was like a feast of some sort. Only I thought maybe it was some witch's sabbath, so I was afraid to stay too long in case they saw me.
Did you recognize anyone there? Someone from the village, maybe?
No. Like I said, it was dark. All I could see was shadowy figures moving around.
Did you hear any familiar voices?
No. But I heard girls' laughter, goblets clinking, a piper playing. It sounded just like any feast.
Where is the clearing?
A short walk north of the castle. There's a track past the woodcutter's camp that takes you there.
Thanks. What do you make of this poaching that's been going on?
It's clear as day. Hannikin Hare's back. And putting those antlers on Nicholas's house? Well, we all know what that means, don't we? It's the sign of a cuckold, you mark my words.
You mean to say his wife's cheating on him?
All I'm saying is she might be feeling the urge. It happens in the best of families.
Well, you're the first who's certain of Hare's return. So far, I've just heard vague rumours.
Well, now, I wouldn't say I'm completely sure. I suppose some other mischief maker could have done it, but better the devil you know. And everyone hereabouts knows Hare.
You were singing a different song not long ago.
So? Why do you want to know so much, anyway?
It's nothing to you, but I'm helping Nicholas unmask that local poaching gang.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. And you also know not to keep anything from me. So, what's the story with that hair?
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But promise not to tell Nicholas I said it.
I'll do what I can, but I need to let him know what I discover. So, out with it.
It's to do with Margaret, his wife. They say it's all because of her.
Keep going.
I know full well Hare's here, because Margaret admitted as much.
What did she tell you?
That he waited in the woods till she came by and they exchanged some words. Words was all she told me. Who knows what they actually got up to?
And what did they speak about?
I don't know. But if Nicholas knew they'd met, he'd most likely kill her.
You're sure she wasn't saying it in jest?
Oh, no. Margaret wouldn't joke about something like that.
So what's the story between Hare and Margaret?
It was complicated. He wanted her and she wanted him too, I reckon. At least for a while. But then she hitched up with Nicholas and now she says she never had a thought of wedding Hannock and Hare.
So what went on between Hare and the huntsman?
Those two? There was no love lost between them from the moment Hare arrived. And then Margaret got involved. It was a messy business.
Do you think Hare really killed that man?
Who knows the truth of it now? I did find it all a bit odd. Hare never was much of a hothead. But then again, no one really knew him that well. And Margaret never wanted to speak of it. Wouldn't hear a word about it.
Well, you're the first who's certain of Hare's return. So far, I've just heard vague rumours.
Well, now, I wouldn't say I'm completely sure. I suppose some other mischief maker could have done it, but better the devil you know. And everyone hereabouts knows Hare.
Stop trying to wriggle out of it. Do you realise who I am?
Not really.
But you know who Radzig Cobbler is, right?
Of course.
I'm his right-hand man, and I'm helping the huntsman catch the poachers. So, I'm not someone you should be messing around.
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But promise not to tell Nicholas I said it.
I'll do what I can, but I need to let him know what I discover. So, out with it.
It's to do with Margaret, his wife. They say it's all because of her.
Keep going.
I know full well Hare's here, because Margaret admitted as much.
What did she tell you?
That he waited in the woods till she came by and they exchanged some words. Words was all she told me. Who knows what they actually got up to?
And what did they speak about?
I don't know. But if Nicholas knew they'd met, he'd most likely kill her.
You're sure she wasn't saying it in jest?
Oh, no. Margaret wouldn't joke about something like that.
That's all I need. Thanks.
Take care.
God bless. What can I help you with?
I'd like to ask you about Hannikin Hare.
I'm sorry, but I really don't want to talk about that.
The thing is, every time I spoke to someone about hair, they always ended up talking about you.
But I don't.
You aren't to blame for anything, is that it? Well, I am willing to believe you, but you do know more than you're telling, and I need to hear it.
Very well. You're right. And what would you like to know about hair?
How were things between you and Hare back then?
There was nothing between us. Hannikin Hare impressed my father with all his talk of noble blood. But I couldn't stand him, and I didn't want to marry him. And then it made no odds after he ran away.
So you didn't want him? I only asked because I've heard differently.
That's village talk. Of course folk gossip. Mostly they just want to hurt Nicholas.
Did Hare really commit the murder?
God in heaven, how should I know? Anyway, it doesn't matter now.
That remains to be seen. What did you talk about in the woods with Hannikin Hare?
I see Betty's mouth's been busy.
Don't blame her. I had to work hard to weasel it out of her. Now tell me.
Oh, all right. Well, it seems Hannikin Hare's exile has addled his brain. He told me he'd go off with me, that he still loves me and nonsense like that.
And what about you?
What do you mean? I was so shocked, I couldn't even scream.
Is that all he told you?
He said if I change my mind, I'm to hang a garland of forget-me-nots on the house and wait for him at that place of ours.
Where was it you saw him exactly?
I wish I could tell you. The whole thing was like a fever dream. I almost got lost trying to get out of the forest. Even if I remembered, it wouldn't be any use to you. Hannikin Hare moves through the forest like a ghost. He knows every tree root off by heart.
I want you to hang that garland on the lodge.
But I don't want to go anywhere with him.
You don't have to go anywhere. But tell me, where's that secret meeting place of yours?
On the way to Ujits. Back then, we used to meet by the great big beech tree, right next to the wayside shrine. There's a lovely view there, you see.
And what time will he be waiting there for you?
At dawn. What are you going to do to Hare?
Never you mind. The main thing is it will all get sorted out. And that's all that matters, isn't it?
I suppose so. Very well, then. I'll hang the garland for you.
That'll be everything.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah. To heel, mutt.
What have we got here? Entertainment. Great! Here! That's him!
To heel, mutt.
You going to cry?
Me? Get him!
Buck!
Christ! Oh.
Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
Who's there? Who's there?
Mars! Mars!
Miss.